It's showtime, folks.
Welcome back, baby. It is the Biak Memes pregame show. Chicago Blackhawks versus Calgary Flames. Game 5 of the 6-game road trip here. Let's go. Back at it tomorrow night. Friday night. It's Friday, as Ice Cube would say. Gotta love those Friday nights, Friday night hockey. And the Chicago Blackhawks take on the worst team in the league. The Calgary Flames are the worst team in the league, otherwise known as first place in the Gavin McKenna sweepstakes. That's what it appears, man. It appears the Flames are all in again. McKenna. They're looking for their generational answer to the Oilers of Connor McDavid, their Alberta foe there. So, yeah, so far 4-9-2. That road is going pretty well for the Flames so far. So, hoping for the Hawks, they can take advantage of that, right? Take advantage of that. 5th game, the 6-game road trip. They are 1-2-1 so far as we speak through 4 games. Let's make it 2-2-1. Let's make it 2-2-1. Let's get to 500 on this road trip. And why not? Let's get a winning streak going here. We lost the first 3 games of the road trip. Let's win the last 3. And obviously, we took that dub yesterday against the Canucks. Let's take the dub tomorrow against the Flames, then Sunday against the Red Wings, right? Let's make it a positive road trip here to end. Yeah. Let's make the second half better than the first half, right? Why not? But yeah, I think that's worth getting into is the Calgary Flames. Their struggles this year. I mean, that was a team that narrowly missed the playoffs last year. They narrowly edged the playoff race, but just weren't quite able to make it there. But that was a team going into last year that there was no expectations. Nobody expected anything out of that Calgary Flames team, right? Everybody said they were going to be a lotto team, and they were the last team to not make the playoffs. They were the 17th ranked team, I believe. I think they may even been 16th. I think they even ranked higher than the team that made the playoffs in the East, because I think they finished out the Canadians, right? So they would have been the 16th best team in the league. So a much better season than was expected. Big part of that was Dustin Wolf. The goaltending of Dustin Wolf, one of the top young goaltenders in the league, has since been passed by Spencer Knight from that regard. Spencer Knight, statistically, is the best goalie in the league this year. At least he's up there. If you look at save percentage and goal save to bug expected, all the advanced analytics, Spencer Knight's up there amongst the best in the league. So he's been this year's Dustin Wolf. Spencer Knight is this year's Dustin Wolf, who has taken a bit of a step back, but I think probably his back is getting tired from carrying that Calgary Flames team. So this year just hasn't quite worked out from that standpoint, and that team has taken a step back. But yeah, getting to some metrics in this one, Blackhawks are 6-5-3 in the year. They get back to above 500 thanks to their win yesterday against Canucks. Flames are 4-9-2, as I said. Players to watch last 5 games. Connor Bedard, 4 goals, 6 assists, 10 points his last 5 games. Connor Bedard is a multi-point per game player, 2-point per game player over his last 5 games. He's cooking. Let him cook. Let Pookie cook. Connor Bedard is stirring the meal, man. He's stirring that puck into the net. And he's playing beautiful hockey right now as we speak. Connor Bedard is playing beautiful hockey, and you love to see it. For the Flames, Huberdeau has 3 goals his last 5 games. Anderson, 3 assists, and Huberdeau has the most points with 6. Jonathan Huberdeau, also known as Jonathan Wasterdeau. Ever since the Matthew Tkachuk trade, I mean, he's fallen off a cliff, man. We have absolutely not seen Florida Panthers Jonathan Huberdeau with the Calgary Flames. He's been a 50, 60-point guy. He's been mid. He's been the dictionary definition of mid. Just hasn't worked out there for him in Calgary. And that Tkachuk trade, remember, everybody at the time said that the Flames won the Matthew Tkachuk trade. No, they absolutely did not. The Panthers have gone to win back-to-back Stanley Cups and made the finals every year with Matthew Tkachuk. And the Flames have not made the playoffs since. So, yeah, I think the Panthers came out on top of that one. I think it's fair to say. Fair to say for sure. Yeah, last 10 games, Hawks are 5-3-2. And the Calgary Flames are 3-5-2. So reverse opposite records there. So who would have predicted that going into the year? I think everybody would have expected the Flames to be the team, knocking on the door for a playoff berth, and the Hawks to be amongst the bottom worst teams in the league for Gavin McKenna, and that's not been the case. These teams have sort of swapped destinies here so far this year, which you'd love to see. The Flames are on a 2-game winning streak, so things have started to turn around for them a little bit lately. First game of the season series for the Hawks and the Flames. Some metrics going to this one. Hawks power play, 19.5%, 18th in the league. Calgary Flames, 13th, 13%, 29th in the league. So their power play is even worse than ours, and by a considerable margin. The Hawks power play is making some strides. It's finally starting to see some improvement. Slow but sure improvement. Penalty kill. Hawks penalty kill is 81.5, 14th in the league. Calgary Flames is 77.8, 18th in the league. So pretty similar numbers there. I'm surprised the Hawks penalty kill is 14th, power play is 18th. So they're actually closer than you'd think, which I'm a little surprised by that, actually. I would have thought the gap would have been larger there. Goals for per game. Hawks are 3.14, 15th. Calgary Flames are 2.33, 31st in the league. The Calgary Flames are 31st in the league, second to last in the league in terms of goals for. The offense has just not been there for the Flames whatsoever. There's just not a lot of top end on that team, right? The depth hasn't really really been there either. So they haven't really had much of anything going for them offensively. Goals allowed per game, Hawks are 2.79, 10th in the league. That's a Spencer Knight effect right there. And the Flames are 3.20, just 23rd in the league. So, yeah, Hawks definitely got the edge in regards to the majority of these metrics leading into this one for sure. And net unconfirmed, but it looks like it's going to be Spencer Knight versus Dustin Wolf. So battle of the promising American goaltending prospects there. Well, they're not really prospects, but under 25 future in net there. I think we're going to see a Spencer Knight Dustin Wolf duo probably in the Olympics one day. Not this year, not 2026. It's probably going to be Connor Hellebuck and Jake Ottinger. I'd imagine is going to be the 1-2 for the U.S. We'll see who the third guy is. Maybe Swayman. Who knows? Demko. I think Knight might put himself in the conversation, man. If Knight keeps up this track record, man. The thing is, there's so many good American goalies, though. There's so many good American goalies. But, I mean, if Knight's numbers are still amongst the best in the league when it comes time to make the rosters, like, maybe he gets consideration for the third goalie slot. I don't know. He's young, though. He's young. But, like, would you not want your young future top netminder at the games learning, if he's only a third goaltender, a third stringer, just being in the action, getting in a couple expedition games, learning from the best under Connor Hellebuck and Otter, like, I don't know. It might be a play there for the U.S. I don't know. It's an interesting thought experiment. Looking at Blackhawks guys who could make the Olympics this year. I can make a whole other video about that, but you have to think, Frank Nazar is going to have a chance to make the U.S. team. Alex Vlasic's going to have a chance as well. Connor Bedard is going to have a chance to make Canada. Turbo is going to be on Finland. Like, those are the first ones that come to mind there. That'll probably be a future video in the topic in the future. And yeah, getting into some line combinations. The Calgary Flames lines that they are running in this absolute mid lineup. They got Connor Zary, Nazem Kadri, and Joel Farabee as their first line. Zary, Kadri, Farabee. That's the Flames' first line. So, yeah, right away, I mean, Nazem Kadri, I mean, this is no longer prime Nazem Kadri. He's still a solid player. But, like, if that's your top offensive player, Nazem Kadri in 2025, you got problems. You got issues. He's your top producer of 11 points in 15 games, and then there's not much going on after that. It's a pretty big drop-off. And there's just not a lot of guys in this team that are performing. Plain simply, look at the stats. It's not impressive to look at. The second line, they got Jonathan Huberdeau, Hubie Doobie Doo in the second line with Morgan Frost and Matt Coronado. Again, that's the Flames' second line. Jonathan Huberdeau is no longer the elite player he was at the Flames. He's a mid-second line player today. He's 50, 60 point guy. That's what he is. He's no longer the point per game beast he was in Florida. It just hasn't happened there. I don't know. It just hasn't worked out in Calgary for him. Flames' third line, they got Samuel Hanzik, Mikaela Backlund, and Blake Coleman. Line 4, they got Ryan Lomberg, Florida Panthers legend, Yegor Sharangovich, and Adam Klapka. Yeah, so that is the Flames offense that I just read there. Which, I mean, yeah, you can see why this team is falling back down to earth, right? Maybe we should have seen this coming. Like, there's some depth on this team. Like, there's some players on this team, but there's just no star power whatsoever. And when your goalie's, numbers kind of start to fall off there, when he's no longer able to carry the team, like, that's what's going to happen. Like, you're going to fall off a cliff. And that's kind of what's happened at Calgary this year. I think the PDO has kind of caught up to them there. And I don't think I don't think their coaching's been that great either. I know Flames fans don't have the best things to say about Ryan Huska and his coaching, so maybe that's been an issue for them as well. But I think it's just kind of been a coming back down to earth season for Calgary. Look at the Flames historically, they tend to have sort of roller coaster years. They'll have one year where they're kind of, they're firing all cylinders, or a playoff team, or at least in the mix. They'll have another year where they kind of fall off a cliff, right? So the Flames are inconsistent, man. They're definitely a hot and cold team from year to year. You just never really know what to expect out of them. The Flames, hot and cold team. No pun intended there. Yeah. But yeah, as Flames don't last forever, right? Flames tend to fizzle out. I think I cooked with that pun. Let me know if I cooked. Let me know if I cooked the Flame. Yeah, defensively, the Flame. I think I'm really funny, guys. There's no one who thinks I'm funny more than me. Yeah, no. His ass is not cooking. Speaking of Flames, I don't know if it's this new lighting setup or whatever, but I look like I'm on fire right now as we speak. I mean, I don't know. I feel like I'm sitting on the surface of the sun watching this video, so I might have to make some adjustments there in the future in terms of what the screen looks like. I don't know. This is a weird look right now. Let me know. Y'all can let me know what you think about it. Like, I feel like I'm staring at a candle right now. Maybe it's just me. I don't know. But we're experimenting. We're playing around with settings and trying to see what looks the best, what sounds the best, all that. We're still working out the kinks here. But anyway, back to the video itself. I'm just going on an absolute random tangent of tangents here. It's one of those nights. Flames defense. Kevin Ball, the baller, Kevin Ball is balling. And Rasmus Anderson. Anderson's still a member of the Calgary Flames. There's been a lot of rumors about his future in Calgary, but so far, he hasn't been traded yet. It looks like his future for now is in Calgary. So that's their top defender right there. And then they got Joel Hanley, Mackenzie Weegar. Weegar's a solid defenseman. They're underrated defenseman. And Yan Kuznetsov. And I wonder if he's related to Evgeny. I wonder. I should probably just fact check that now, but I'll let somebody else do that. Somebody in the comments can fact check me. But Kuznetsov, a common Russian name probably. Braden Piquel is their other defenseman. So yeah, again, like you look at this defense, it's like you got Rasmus Anderson, you got Mackenzie Weegar, and then a whole bunch of what am I looking at here? I imagine they're dealing with some injuries. Like just reading this roster, I imagine it. Oh, not really. Popsicle. Martin Popsicle. I remember that was the guy who was a goon last year whenever we played the Flames. So he's out, but that's the only injury I'm seeing right here. So I guess they're not even dealing with injuries. I look at this lineup like surely they're dealing with injuries or something because like this is absolute ass to look at. Nope, that's just the team. They're just that bad. So this is the Flames roster that we're dealing with here. And like I said, in net it's probably going to be Knight versus Wolf, although it could be Soda versus Cooley. We'll see. I imagine after the game Knight had, the Hawks are definitely going to go back to Knight, I'd imagine for sure. And then the Flames, Dustin Wolf plays pretty much every game. So that's probably what's going to happen there. And the Hawks lines, just to give you a reminder, I doubt they're going to change anything based on the way last game went. They shouldn't. Green, Bedard, Burakovsky, Tavo, Nazar, Burt. The hat trick man, Tyler Bertuzzi. What does he have in store in this one? What more does Tyler Bertuzzi have in store? Man, the streets will have to find out, man. We will be watching. We will be there. You just never know what's going to happen when Tyler Bertuzzi steps in the ice. You never know what's going to happen, man. You never know. Like, just cinema can happen at any point Tyler Bertuzzi is playing in a game. Third line, Oliver Moore, Ryan Donato, Ilya Mikheyev, Colton Dach, Nick Foligno. Hawks defense, Vlasic, Grinzel, Grizzlick, Murphy, Kaiser, Levchenov, Crevier. The same thing there. We're still rolling the 11 forward, 7D. I guess Sam Lafferty he just disappeared or something. I don't even know if we're playing the guy anymore. I don't even know why we got this guy just to never play him. But Hawks are still running with the 11 forward, 7D thing. And I think they've run that pretty much all but 2 games this year. But it's been working. So, hey, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. We'll keep rolling with that as long as it works. So, we'll see about that. And Dickinson's still out, so we'll see when he gets back. With Oliver Moore up here, I don't want to. I hate to say this, but honestly, the longer Dickinson's out, the longer Oliver Moore is up here. Assuming that they probably send him down when he gets healthy. So, hey, the more Oliver Moore hockey we could see, the better. Although if Oliver Moore keeps it up, though, the Hawks probably keep him up here and send someone else down. They sent down Slaggert, so technically there's an open spot there anyway, even if Dickinson does come back. So they could just keep him up here anyway, now that I think about it. So that's a future thought experiment. The way Nick Loris is performing in Rockford, though, we might need to, he might need to get him up here soon. He was the AHL Rookie of the Month in October, 13 points in 10 games for Nick Loris. So if he keeps playing like that, surely he's got more to call up, pretty soon here. Korchinski's up to 8 points in 9 games down there as well. So maybe a defensive call up as well. We'll see. Both Korchinski and Lardis, I think guys, with Oliver Moore being called up, I think it's worth looking at what other Rockford Ice Hogs could be called up in the near future. I definitely look at Kevin Korchinski and Nick Lardis. I watched out for those two in the month of November. I think if those two keep up the play they've been on, the question is, who do you set down? What moves do you make, right? But that's a future thought experiment. But the way those two are cooking down there, I wouldn't be surprised if we see them on this roster in the not too distant future, right? Anyway, I think that's all we got left is score predictions here. I think the Hawks take this one. I think the Hawks get consecutive wins here. I think they get to 500 mid in the 5-game road trip, right? And then hopefully in Detroit they win that one, make it 3-2-1, make it an over 500 road trip. But anyway, that's getting ahead there. In terms of this game, I think the Hawks take it. Flames are the worst team in the league. I think the Hawks are coming off a high there with that 5-2 win against the Canucks, that third period performance. So I think they're gonna begin right where they left off in that game, and they're gonna keep the momentum rolling here. So I'll say Hawks take a 4-2 dub, 4-2 Hawks win. Why not? You know what I'd love to see in this game? I would love to see a first career goal. There's a few guys we could look at there. I look at Artie Levchenov, Artie Party. He's been playing really well lately. He's on a point streak right now. He's been racking up a lot of assists. I want to see a goal from Artie Party soon. I feel like he's due. 31 games in the NHL. He hasn't had that first career goal yet. I feel like we're going to see that pretty soon. And how about Oliver Moore? 11 games in the NHL in his career, right? He'll be his third game up. He's looked really good. Got a point last game against Vancouver. The way he's been playing, I like that third line. I like that third line of Moore, Mikheyev, and Donato. I think that's been an impressive line. The forecheck of that line, the speed of that line's been great. I look for another good game out of that line, and hopefully we see Oliver Moore goal. I'd love to see that. And hopefully Pookie keeps up his 6-game point streak, right? He's on a 6-game point streak. And you know what else I like to see? I like to see Frank Nazar get the board in this one. He's gone, 4 games without a point? Nazar has not had a point in this road trip, so I'd like to see him get back on the board. So those are some things to look at there, right? Bedard, 18 points, 14 games. Let's get back cooking there and keep this run of I'm seeing a lot of people saying that Macklin Celebrini is a lock for the Canadian Olympic team. What about Connor Bedard? What about Connor Bedard? Top 10 in the league in production. I think the way he's been playing, he's only 3 points behind Celebrini. Let's cut into that lead there a little bit. And I think for Bedard, use that as motivation. Why can't Bedard be a Team Canada, man? Why can't they both be there? So, I like to see Bedard keep cooking here. And, let's see the Hawks take a dub. Why not? Let's keep it rolling here. All right. I think that's going to do it in this one. Thank you all so much for watching this pregame. And I will see you tomorrow for the postgame, the Blackhawks Flames. We will be there. We will be there. Like, share, and subscribe. Before I go, actually, like this video, share it around, subscribe if you haven't already. We're closing it. We're closing in 600 subs. So the sooner we can get there, the better, right? The sooner we get there, the better. Absolutely. All right. See you all in the next one. Bye-bye.